Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live with Sheryl. I am your host, Sheryl Mebane, and I am a researcher, drummer, screenwriter, poet, novelist, musician, singer, all kinds of different things. And I am hosting this show so we can talk about those things and other creative aspects of your lives, my life, and health. So we are going to get right into one of the new features of new season with Live with Sheryl, and that is the dance excitement everywhere. So we didn't really do an interpretive dance this time, but I do get to share some new music that I've been working on. So I want y'all to check this out and let me know what you think. And without further ado, here's some dance excitement everywhere. And the goal here is to make a place for fun, exercise, getting that healthy stuff going on, and share it with y'all along with some familiar faces y'all probably gonna know. Okay, here we go. Dance excitement everywhere and a little bit of new music. Y'all might find it familiar because it's a little cover music. Okay, here we go. Hey everyone! So that was some dance excitement everywhere, and we have even more excitement because one of our very frequent special guests, Dr. Felicia Mebane, is joining us on Live with Sheryl again. Dr. Felicia is our public health ninja, and so she sprang in there with lots of action and enthusiasm to say hello, hello, hello. And you saw you did not miss a single segment, Dr. Felicia, because we just had dance excitement everywhere, and you saw the excitement.
I did. Yep.
So that was a little bit, I was explaining earlier that was instrumental part of something that I was working on as a cover. So I just was hiding some of the details of it by keeping the vocal to the side. But I have been inspired to do a lot of different production on that piece as far as the instrumental. It was shifting a little bit, but y'all hadn't heard it yet because unlike usual, I stopped it early. Usually I play whatever I'm going to play way too long, but this time I stopped. So I wanted to mention that one of the things you had mentioned on this program, I finally checked out for Show's Weekly Media Minute, I think it was last week, which was StrayKids, the group that you're into and you had discussed on the show.
Right.
Yes, yes. So with all the different production styles they have, I was like, okay, it's okay if I let this song grow in terms of the groove. So
Oh,
y'all really didn't get that sample just yet. So maybe with the health trivia, maybe y'all get, a part two to see how the groove shape. It was nothing like Stray Kids where it's just like very pronounced real shift because I'm still the same producer. I mean, it's just still me. But I
yeah.
was just
Right.
like, if they can do it, then I can clearly
Yeah,
have
you just speak a little bit in there. Exactly. Oh,
exactly.
and hi, CB. She said CB says hi.
Hey CB, how you doing? Thanks for joining and thank y'all for joining out there and listening. So I hope y'all were enjoying the dance excitement everywhere because we have just taken that connection on through to Cheryl's Weekly Media Minute, mentioning the inspiration partly for spreading my wings in terms of the music was some of the music that Dr. Felicia had mentioned on the show. And then also I have been checking out different movies for no, in the past for Cheryl Thinks What, my reaction series with Tim, my
Uh-huh.
husband, who you saw dancing. Part of what we do was react to movies. So that was the first time we were reacting to music video. We reacted to The Voice before, so that was music, but
Oh,
it was a show.
uh-huh.
So we'll definitely take more suggestions for Cheryl Thinks What because we are going to keep pulling those out and having full episodes every quarter for just the patrons on Patreon. But people have seen little snippets through Cheryl's Weekly Media Minute and on my YouTube channel of a little bit of the Cheryl Thinks What about the
Mhm.
Stray Kids thing, and we got educated that that was not actually a music video, it was a commercial, and
Yeah.
that's why it seems so very commercial-like, with the product placement being quite heavy.
Yeah. And
Did
there
we
wasn't real dancing. No.
but we were being so polite, which I was like, "That's not." Especially Tim. I mean, I know y'all didn't see the full video, but sometimes he just really lets people know because he's not primarily an artist, so he's not trying to keep the lines of free
Yeah.
flowing dialogue open and not shut down creative. He was just like, I don't know. But I think he was just
That's
like, well, it's
fair.
his
It's
production.
your
It was,
reaction. That's fair. You know what I mean? It's your reaction.
yeah, it's totally fair, especially
Yeah.
if you are putting things out and you are not an artist trying to then collaborate with
Yeah.
anybody later. So you
Yeah.
have to also consider would you like them to be saying all that about your thing? Because sometimes, if you don't want to hear it, maybe don't say it. But it is fair to have your reaction. It absolutely is. I mean, that's part of how you sort of know what you like, and other people really know if they got real fans, they like it or not. Because if that real fans say, "Well, I don't like that," they're really paying attention and listening. They
Yeah.
really care for the art or not. Or they could just be a fan of you, and then they just like everything. That's okay too. I
Well,
would, I would love that.
I have watched a lot of reaction videos because it's another way for me to watch the videos that I like. So instead of watching the same video over and over, I watch other people's reaction to the video and
Oh
I
yeah,
kind of do both. And you get a wide variety, and I appreciate that. So some people I love everything, and some are like, "Well, I'm a musician or I'm a producer." So then they go
yeah.
in on the details of, "Oh, they probably did this way and that way," and then it's just a whole nother way of thinking about
I
it.
love that. I was
Yeah.
watching some
So,
reactions to a series of adaptations of Jane Austen pieces, and it was part of the cinema therapy YouTube, I guess, a podcast essentially. And so they have somebody who's a person who makes films, a filmmaker, and then they also have a therapist, and
mhm,
they're friends and they watch stuff, and so they go into
right.
detail. And yeah, there's
It's
all kinds of different
really good.
reactions out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's right.
reaction analysis. I guess some people just do different things within that.
Yeah.
So there's room for everything.
But also the commercial, for folks who don't know, had another group too. It wasn't just Stray Kids.
That's what Tim was trying to show me. He was like, "There's a credit down here. You might want to alert yourself
Yeah,
to
yeah,
it
yeah.
as we are publicly talking about this thing. You might want to read for context clues." I said, "Oh yeah, okay." We
Yeah,
were just listening to some music, y'all, and
yeah,
educate ourselves with our ears, and then after the fact, coming to really get more appreciative. But it did help to spur me on with some of what I'm doing. I've been real busy with a lot of music because this is the time of year where I more so do that. So I did that cover, and then I've also been churning on some of my original stuff, just in terms of outlining ideas, things like that, popping up because that cover that I was doing was taking a little bit more of my time. And I've also been doing my little research project, which I have to get further down the road before I want to share more about that. Auditions, getting some liked auditions. So that's been fun and good. But one of the major things I was really into was something I mentioned for Cheryl's Weekly Media Minute. So there was this pitch event over on X. And I know people pitch all kinds of ways in terms of trying to get their unsold option, unattached in any way, totally available and complete scripts made. So I go to different sites that people have said have been helpful, but this is an event that some people put together to try to help people break through, and it's totally free. And it was on X yesterday. They do it, I guess, a couple times a year. So Screen Pit, I mentioned before. So I did it yesterday, and y'all, some people had some really creative posts talking about different ways to just come at things because you can pitch with a tweet, but that's so restricted that a lot of times people wanted to give more content in some of the other materials they sometimes make to pitch things in general. Sometimes people have a full pitch deck, full slide of walking you through things.
Mhm.
Sometimes you might just have a poster like a movie poster. So some of the things there were really like movie posters, really done slickly. And it was like, oh, let's pull you in. I had to retweet some of those. I was like, yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and there were some just other things I was just liking. I was like, this is
Yeah.
just so cool. And it's been a minute since I've been in anything on social media that really felt that fun for me to be like an event and then just
Yes,
swept up in it. I
yes,
think that whole thing, that hashtag was trending number 2 or 3 or something in the US yesterday because the organizers were like,
yes,
look at what we did. And I was like, y'all
yeah.
gotta go, you know.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry to say Stray Kids again, but I will. And so it was Paris Fashion Week this last 2 weeks, and one of the Stray Kids walked in the Louis Vuitton fashion show. And so millions of and I was right there. I watched the Louis. I mean, I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but I watched the Louis Vuitton show live during my break. Because I'm working from home right
that's
now.
a break. It's called a break.
Like you
Humans
were
need
saying,
breaks. Newsflash,
I mean,
humans need breaks.
but it, like you were saying, it was so exciting because you could see the tweets go up, and because we didn't know he was going to do it, so we were just watching to see if he would be in the audience on the front row. And then when he came around the corner, it exploded. Like the stage just went crazy, hashtags everywhere. It was very exciting.
That's how you do it. That's how you do
Oh,
it because
I'm sorry. Hashtag Felix. Hashtag Straight Kids. Just to be specific. Okay.
excitement. That's how people do things.
Yes.
Generate excitement, get people excited about art, fashion, music,
Yes.
what have
Exactly.
you. Get
Both.
people buzzing and buzzing instead of
Right.
buzzing and buzzing about negative stuff. You know,
Yeah. That's
we
right.
go
It was good. It
buzz
was
about
good.
something.
Yeah. It was
No, go
very.
ahead. Go ahead.
No,
More,
I was gonna
please.
say it was just the energy around it all, and to see the way, like, oh my gosh, the tweets were flying through, and everything. Like you were saying, I was like. It was pretty cool. It's the first time I've ever done anything live like that online. I've just never done that before, so it was an
Who can
interesting.
time it? Sometimes I'll come back
Well,
later.
that's
Oh,
the
I
thing.
missed it.
Exactly. Like a day later, oh well, that happens.
Exactly. That's just like classic because we don't live on social media. I don't think you and I that
Exactly.
much.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's still helpful. Even if I come later to things, I'm often like, hey, I'm just glad to know. But with this one, because it was supposed to help creatives like
Yeah.
myself, I
Yeah.
was like, I need to schedule this for myself. And so they had it organized really well. They had all kinds of stuff. And then I would just say, folk, it's just inspiring to see other people out there sharing our thing. Some people are people who've been out there and sold things. And some people are newbies who are trying to make that happen for ourselves. And we're all just trying to help each other and raw each other on and
Mhm.
look and say, oh, that's cool. I would go see that. Or, oh, that's really interesting. I'm scared to go see that, but I hope you make it for the people who can. Because horror
And
for
what was
me,
the name of it again? What was the
well,
hashtag?
oh, the hashtag was screen pit, like pitching, but pit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spring.
So
Spring is in the season.
screen, like screenwriters.
Screen pit.
Yeah,
Okay.
like put something on the big screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was really
Cool.
cool. And they also have their website, screenpit.org. But I think there's like 4 main people who are organizing it. And you could check them out there. And I was following them after, just like, hey, thank you.
Mhm.
Um, I think it was a good event. I'm not so sure if people have started to hear industry folks right away on that day because they were letting us know that the industry people would be probably waiting till the dust settled and then coming to look at things like today.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
fingers crossed, y'all. But I
Mhm.
was just excited to be in the mix because business knows this, but I'm a creative business. And so part of what I really fixate on is creating. But you got to market. And so I was like, I'm officially out there doing my little marketing part of my business. And I am the marketing department and I am very engaged. So,
Yeah.
but my posters do need a little zhuzhing because I got inspired. And I was like, I can see what's out there. And I can see what I was like, oh, this is so cool. And I was like, okay, so next time.
You're right.
I'm
Right.
gonna
Right. Right.
I'm gonna have some ideas.
Well, one of the things too that they do, because this is putting Stray Kids, which is a musical group, in the fashion area, and there's often some intersection between the two. But it was really cool to see people who are like, well, I don't know who this is, but he did a great job. And then he has more, it cycles back to his Instagram, and then it cycles back to the music. So it
Yep.
was kind of interesting to see the intersection between different parts of sort of fashion and entertainment and culture.
It's exciting if people can be inspired or share fan bases or just
Hmm.
have a great time.
Yeah, yeah,
That is sort of what a lot of this is about. So
right, right.
things that further that, that's what we love. And also things that further us being healthy enough to do our creating. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and segue on to our health segment now. For y'all who are not used to Live with Cheryl, this is not like, oh, we gotta be healthy. This is more like, hey, we're gonna talk about things, we're gonna get ideas, stuff like that. So let me go ahead and share some things with y'all. And as usual, I will share after we go along a little bit more the site that this came from. But there are, we've talked about this on the show, lots of different ways that people try to unwind, lots of ways that we try to be healthier and squeeze in little things in our day. And meditation can be one of those ways, but there's lots of ways within meditation. So I got a resource that I was using recently that made me want to remind everybody here what great kind of things can be going on in the larger world of meditation. So this resource is suggesting that there are ways to meditate that can include guided meditation, mindfulness meditation, tai chi, and more. And for guided meditation, I had something like that back in high school. I remember being led through something through a summer program, and they were just trying to expose the high school kids who were, this was like an academic kind of summer program, so we were kids who were pretty dedicated, studying, pushing hard. They were like, y'all need to know how to relax. That's what y'all need, because y'all know how to push. Now you need to know how to ease up. So they gave us this guided meditation. We were all in an auditorium. I about fell asleep, y'all, because it was so effective. And I said to myself, I will remember that if I'm needing something, I was like, that really worked. Then later on, years later, I was reading different things, and mindfulness meditation on being mindful of your breath or being just scanning your body. Those were types of meditations that I was into. Tai Chi, when I went and was working with EPA in Cincinnati. A shout out to Dr. Tarsha. See, I said Tai Chi. I was going to make her name Taisha. No, Tarsha Eason. She was doing Tai Chi to help herself ground herself. And I tried it, y'all, and about passed out. Now, the thing is, you're supposed to sort of link your breathing to your movement. I wasn't quite there yet. And I got the movement real slow, but that breathing needed to do something different because it was a lot. But there are all kinds of ways to meditate. And I've tried quite a few, and a lot of them are helpful. So I said the and more, the resource goes into them. But there is a specific type that is the focus of today's health trivia. So, this other type that's not guided or mindful or Tai Chi meditation, what is it? It is a type of meditation in which you repeat a calming word, thought, or phrase to keep out unwanted thoughts. Is that a cloud meditation? Is that gratitude meditation? Or is that mantra meditation? So, let me play a little bit more, and y'all can let me know in the chat or let Dr. Felicia know in the chat. What you think? Do we have anything in the chat yet?
We do.
See, awesome. That is indeed the correct type. So let me slide the music out. And indeed, mantra meditation is something that I was learning from recently. Once again, I've had this in the past, and I know that there are some very traditional types of mantras in different languages, but these are mantras that I guess sort of writ large is what I'm sort of connecting to. So I had a mantra meditation recently that was for music and for singing, because I was able to be a part of this really cool free workshop online by Arden Kaylin. And I think I put her link into things before on social media because she's really helpful for singers who are trying to diagnose different things. And so part of what she was doing was saying, what y'all don't do sometimes as singers is work that head game, meaning mentally just sort of steer yourself to be more open. And one of the things she was having us do was select these different things that we could choose what resonated with us as a mantra meditation. So I'm going to share a few of them with y'all. And like I said, again, I didn't make these up, but I just selected from some of what Arden had shared.
I
And
was
I'm
gonna say,
sure.
You
Oh,
said
so
resonated, so to speak, right?
yeah, it resonated. It resonated with me, exactly. So a few of the things that I pulled from what Arden had shared, and again, her name is Arden Kawan, and I'll put a link up to people who want to go ahead and sort of, she does vocal coaching and she does all kinds of amazing things with people. She was saying, having some of these mantras, and I connected to these ones. I am connected to the unlimited abundance of the universe. I am connected to the unlimited abundance of the universe. Doesn't that just make you feel ready for everything? The energy that created worlds flows to me and through me. So, whatever you got to do, just remember that. So, that could be a mantra for the whole day. And when you're doing whatever with your person, your supervisor, person who's supervising you, somebody doing something, the energy that created worlds flows to and through me. Y'all, there's so many mantras out there. And if you don't like those, find yourself a different one because it can be so effective. I was using this to help me do my singing for that cover. And what I was finding was, because this was something I was doing as a music licensing opportunity where people posted, hey, we'd like to see covers of this. So it wasn't something I've been working on for months and months. It was something that was more of a couple weeks project. And so I had this process of steering what I was trying to do over time in a short, compressed time to go ahead and be professional and do this thing. So sometimes when you're doing that, you're in your head a little bit. But having that mantra, you put that in your head. Then you're not thinking about, oh, last week I was doing it this way. Let me remember this. You already practiced that. Now you're just like, the abundance is flowing through me. Let me just do this. So it was helpful. It was very helpful. You got any things you want to add or share? There's lots of different
Well,
types of meditation. I know we talked about it before on the show, but please, Dr.
yeah. I mean, it's so funny because those are a lot of words. I think I'm gonna need a shorter phrase
Yes,
for work for me. But I
grab
also
one.
know
Yeah.
that you can do those. I guess is it a mantra when you do? It's just. I guess you have to have words to have a mantra. Is that right? Is that the
I
difference?
am not
Then
completely, I think this website here, the Mayo Clinic one, goes into a little bit more detail about the variety of things. And when
mhm,
I was
mhm,
looking about, I think it was a definitely a research resource about the effectiveness of mantras. They were being very specific about traditional mantras are over here,
mhm.
and they're in traditional languages where this tradition came from. And then they're thinking about something a little bit broader and then defined it for their research purposes, I think.
Oh,
So the
okay.
Mayo Clinic site, though, I think they're just giving us in general, repeating a phrase to keep out unwanted thoughts. They're
Sure,
broadening it.
sure.
But of
Mhm.
course, the research, I think, had to make it at least narrow enough for it to be effective for them to draw conclusions that could be generalizable. So the Mayo Clinic resource probably is just saying words that you
Yeah.
say repeatedly,
Because
a
it could be
phrase.
anything. It could be I love chocolate," right? As long as if you get it into a rhythm.
It
You know
absolutely
what I
can be
mean?
because it the way they're talking about it, and again, people who really dig down into tradition versus a more,
Yeah, yeah,
westernized approach to it, they might tell you, "Okay, well, I would call that this, or I call that that," but I'm just
right.
wanting us to think about how many things can be effective at just redirecting some of these tense thoughts,
Mhm,
redirecting some of this. Okay, well, you had that on your mind, but now it's tucked in. You've practiced it. Let that go. Okay, so how do you let it go? Replace it with something. How do you let
mhm,
that thought go?
mhm.
Replace the thought.
Yeah.
So I found that very helpful. So we had the correct answer of C, and that is wonderful. And I want to thank, is that CB who gave that answer? Thank you, ZB. So thank you for everybody, patrons and family and friends, for participating in another Live with Sheryl. I want to know, CB, if you want to hear more of the Live with Sheryl theme as we're wrapping up, or if you want to hear more of the instrumental that I was playing, that was part of the instrumental cover that is going to go out for this license opportunity that I've been working on recently. So the music you just heard, do you want to hear more of the Live with Sheryl theme as we wrap up, or do you want to hear more of the newer music that's the cover instrumental? And while we're letting CB decide, thanks y'all for listening. Next Live with Sheryl is going to be in 2 weeks. For those who are patrons, I'm going to have a chat. Hey, patron. I'm going to have a chat next Thursday that I'll let folks know about. So over there on patreon.com, if folks want to support me there, I have something going on every month. There's a chat for all levels of patrons. And then there's also, I'll just go back to this so y'all can see my patreon.com/Sheryl Mebane. There's also monthly a special thing. So this month is going to be something with the new music, y'all. But because I have so many new things that I'm working on, I don't know if it's going to be that cover that I'm going to perform and then other things, or if I'm going to already have several other things that I want to do. But that's going to be in probably 3 weeks. So it'll be another Live with Sheryl in 2 weeks. Patreon, lots of doings and going on that my patrons can find out about, and y'all can be one of them if you want to. So in the meantime, y'all, thanks for listening. And
Yeah,
did we get
cover.
the cover? Okay, so we're going to listen more to the cover, and y'all, hopefully we'll all be finding our mantra or finding our practice that helps us enjoy, relax. Until next time, y'all take care.
I love chocolate. I love chocolate. I love chocolate.
I had to restart it because I think I actually only saved the amount that wouldn't let me play too much. So sorry, you guys. I love chocolate. I love chocolate.
Just trying to help out,
I'm a loop it so y'all can get. And now it's gonna loop again. I'm gonna loop it. Sorry, y'all. Enjoy.
Me too, CB. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Apparently we have technical difficulties, folks. Let's try that one more time. Dr. Felicia's like, and by the way, you are bopping your head by yourself, ma'am. And people cannot appreciate that.
And also, Love Low says, I love chocolate too.
Yes, that's a good one. We are trying not to push that out as far as like excluding that from any mantra. If that cannot be a mantra, then I don't want to participate.
Yeah,
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sheryl's Weekly Media.
Oh, wait, that's not the right thing. Hello, everyone. And sorry about that. That's the wrong video. I got a little
So if
excited.
love and chocolate is wrong, we don't want to be right. As the
If love
song
and
says. As the song
exactly. If love and chocolate is wrong, I don't want to be right. That's not the type of singing that Arden would want, by the way. Okay. There we go. I think y'all can enjoy this now.